Criminal investigators have revealed that the cell phone owned by Stephanie Williams, dancehall artist Medikk, last pinged at a cell tower in Linstead, St. Catherine, not long after her disappearance over a month ago. The police are following up on leads in Linstead, but there is no concrete proof of anything yet. We are also trying to get information on the vehicle that came to pick her up from her apartment, but there is nothing yet, no leads, a police source said. Today, September 28, marks the fifth week since the dancehall artist was reported missing to the authorities. The mother said today is her birthday as well, and she have to admit that it is so sad. I am not eating. I'm trying my best to keep up. This week was supposed to be a celebration. The 8th of October is Stephanie's birthday. We were planning a trip for us, my daughters, the whole family, but this season has turned into something else. Businesswoman Millicent McCurdy, the mother of the dancehall artist, said McCurdy said she has had dialogue with the police since leading a protest at the Constant Spring police station earlier this week. After the protest, the police reached out to her. I am grateful for that, and other police have told me that they would call me next week with updates. I want to thank the Church of God in St. John's Road, Spanish Town, and the Church of God in Jamaica, Westmoreland, my own church, who have been here with me. There are pastors from the Church of God all over Jamaica who have called me to offer support, so I'm grateful for the support, McCurdy said. According to the police, 29-year-old Stephanie Williams was last seen wearing a black blouse, black tights, and a pair of black shoes. She is of brown complexion, medium build, and is about 5 feet 7 inches tall. Anyone with information can call 311, and if the information leads to her safe return, they will have access to a $1 million reward. The problem is that I have not seen Crime Stop reposting the reward so that we can get any possible information about her whereabouts. They need to do that, but I haven't called them. I just don't have the strength to do everything, she said. Medikk is best known for her songs such as Money Feelings and her growing catalog of collaborations such as Overcome featuring Shano and Boss Level featuring Javelani. However, McCurdy said that her daughter was more than just a dancehall artist, as she was a successful entrepreneur as well, with a brand of holistic products available at pharmacies all over Jamaica. I think the police should also check out that boyfriend, White Knight, that is in prison, and the phone that he's using, because it is alleged that he's using I think it's Jack Hammer or something like that. You know that phone that people abroad you like would be in the Caribbean and use it like them they're abroad. Check out that phone. I don't know if those phones are able to get WhatsApp on it or send message and so on. And check out within that timing or that time zone who is the persons that he made contact with. Check out those people and who is connected to the vehicle that come to pick her up, and their cell phones as well, and so on, and see the connection, because remember, you would have been calling her a lot. So there must be some, even without the phone, even though they find out where the phone ping, even without the phone, the fact that he always call her, he must leave voice message and so on. They must can trace that number that him called from in the prison and clamp on it through the, what you call it now, the phone companies, get some information on it and connect the dots with like people who you would have called or who you would have messaged, just like when you reach out to her and so on. You would have some information and just to clear that section to say, okay, then we'll thoroughly check out there, so, because you remember the most allegation is surrounding this man, so you have to really clamp down on the links them that is closest to him and what he may have or could have done, because of course him in locked up. So him have his people that him would have called and make links with to do stuff for him. So they need to really thoroughly check out that side of it as well. And as usual, we already know we're not going to get much, if any, information out of the music fraternity, as they seem to really not going to get involved. But Medix wasn't a loner. She had friends, girlfriends that she spar with, man friend that she know and talk to. There must be some information that can be gathered there so as well. Yes, I am aware that people are afraid for their lives, because even though a man can be behind bars based on his power, you understand, him hand reach is like he can stretch from prison go straight to another country, if you know what I mean, and so on. So you're still reachable and so on. So, but there have to be some stuff surrounding that way they can get something from something. But overall, JCF, this is a good move. We feel happy to get in something, and that is good. And over there in Westmoreland, two men were reportedly shot and killed by the police in Spring Garden, Westmoreland, this Wednesday afternoon. The deceased men have been identified by relatives as 25-year-old Romaria Dawkins and Deal Woolery, both from the community. According to the Zone 4 commander for Little London and Negril, Deputy Superintendent of Police Sean J. Mitchell, the men died in a confrontation with lawmen. According to reports, there was a police operation in the area sometime around 12:30 p.m. and the operation resulted in a confrontation. During the melee, two men were shot and taken to the hospital where they were pronounced. Mitchell said two firearms were recovered from the incident, and the Independent Commission of Investigation (INDECOM) has commenced an investigation into the matter. In the wake of 7 people being killed in the last 72 hours, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck is again making a case for harsher minimum sentences to be imposed for people who commit capital murder. Drawing on the Tuesday morning quadruple murder in Crawl, Riversdale, St. Catherine, in which 3 women and a man were killed in a house, and the triple murder in Grand Spence, St. Andrew on Sunday, in which 3 men were shot at a construction site, Chuck said it is because of incidents like these that several bills dealing with minimum sentencing for murder are being reviewed to send the right signals to criminals. Among the proposed changes set out in the 3 pieces of related legislation is a mandatory minimum sentence of 50 years for capital murder. Described the murderous act as real outrageous behavior. Chuck questioned how people can deliberately take it on themselves to go and shoot up people. Just 2 nights ago, 4 persons were killed, and that is a deliberate act. It's the same that happened in Grand Spence on Sunday. Whether it's revenge or retaliation or just heartless behavior, the Justice Minister said. Chuck, who was chairing the meeting of the Joint Select Committee reviewing the various mandatory minimum legislation on Wednesday, said he was pleased that the perpetrators were apprehended within a couple of hours and expressed the hope that others involved in the Crawl incident will also be quickly nabbed. If these criminals, he said, could be quickly apprehended and convicted with the appropriate sentences, then people would feel that justice was done. It takes too long for justice to be complied with, and that is a problem in our country. But once they are found, and especially if the evidence is strong to get them convicted, I think the country is called out, and we can't ignore that the country is calling for severe penalties, and that is why these bills are before us, he said. The proposed changes being considered by members of the Joint Select Committee include amendment to the Offences Against the Person Act, OAPA, the Criminal Justice Act, and the Child Care and Protection Amendment Act 2023. Amendment to Section 31B of the OAPA would increase the mandatory minimum sentence from 15 to 45 years where a capital murder has been committed. The mandatory minimum sentence to be served before being eligible for parole moves from 20 to 50 years under Section 31CA and under Section 42F of the Criminal Justice Administration Act. The term of years to be deemed as life imprisonment increased from 30 to 50 years when the offense committed is murder. Under the Child Care and Protection Amendment Act 2023, amendment to Section 31B of the OAP would increase the mandatory minimum sentence from 15 to 45 years where capital murder has been committed. It is being proposed that children convicted of murder serve a mandatory sentence of 20 years in prison before becoming eligible for parole. Chuck said that while the committee has heard the submissions of the various contributors, including Jamaicans for Justice, which suggested rehabilitation and consideration of the overcrowding of the prisons, his view is that once they are found evidence is compelling and they are convicted, the state should impose the strongest penalty possible. He stressed that people have been asking for the death penalty for capital murder, which is still on the status books, and while he hopes the country does not resort to that punishment, the alternative must be severe, said Chuck. Another possibility is life imprisonment with a very high minimum mandatory. What is being proposed in the bill is 50 years, and to be frank, once it's capital, we have to send that signal very clear. That person has been a menace to society and therefore should be locked away for a very, very long time, even to the extent of life. How low we go, we must consider we have started out at 30 years to be fair. Persons have suggested 25 years. Should we go there? The point we are making is that for capital murder, we must be as severe as we can. For non-capital murder, I feel we could be less severe and allow the court a wide discretionary, he said. At the end of the day, the kind of murders that we are seeing in Jamaica, we need to have very severe punishment unleashed on these criminals, because when they are doing the act, it is without mercy and without fear for anyone. So there got to be something that has a deterrent. If a person feel like say I'm gonna go for a few years and him having money and he can drink Hennessy and still have cake and deliver for him, eat KFC and all of them things, and him soon come back on road. Still have time enough and strength in him body to commit the same crimes them continuously. Nothing is going to change. But when you see I go 50 years and at the age of the people perpetrating the crime, if they are in their 20s and they go for 50 years, if they do come back out, them 70 hard, them very weak out. But if they go in them 20s and get 15 years, they might come out ripe and sharp and well learned, because them learn more skills in prison. They might come out more vigorous and vicious. So that is a good look, Mr. Delroy Chuck. 50 years mandatory would be good for the real vicious crimes.